Aren't you glad that this whole coronavirus crisis is finally over? They're reopening the economy, people are getting back to work, stores are opening, everything is back to normal. It's safe to go shopping again, as long as you have your homemade hazmat suit. Oh, and don't worry, I've marked off the 6 feet, so we're at a safe distance. And it's perfectly normal to see lots of people walking around stores wearing masks, right? We are, after all, in Jesse James territory. And how's this for normal seating arrangement for a church? Well, unfortunately, truth is, things are not really normal, are they? We're not back to the way things used to be. The virus is still out there. People are still getting sick. Thousands of people are still dying. And even though it's still a very small percentage of people who have contracted the virus, I think it's pretty safe to say that all of us are suffering from coronavirus fatigue. We're tired of being cooped up, tired of all the restrictions, tired of the fears, tired of the daily death counts. We don't want to hear about it anymore. We don't want to think about it anymore. We want to move on. I get tired of wearing a mask for just a short time. I can't imagine wearing the whole protective equipment all day long. If you think we're tired of all of this, imagine the doctors and nurses, the respiratory therapists in New York or Italy or 100 other places that have been hit so hard by this virus. I get it. I understand that we're tired of this. But there's one thing we need to not get tired of, and that's praying about it. The healthcare workers need us to not get tired of praying about this virus, asking God for a solution, for healing. But I've prayed about it, and I'm sure you've prayed about it, and it hasn't gone away yet, has it? What good will it do to keep praying about it if God hasn't answered? In Luke chapter 18, Jesus tells a parable. And he told them a parable to the effect that they ought always to pray and not lose heart. He said, in a certain city there was a judge who neither feared God nor respected man. And there was a widow in that city who kept coming to him and saying, "Give me justice against my adversary." For a while he refused. But afterward he said to himself, "Though I neither fear God nor respect man, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will give her justice, so that she will not beat me down by her continual coming." And the Lord said, "Hear what the unrighteous judge says. And will not God give justice to his elect, who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long over them? I tell you, he will give justice to them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?" So, an unrighteous judge, a judge who didn't care about doing the right thing, but he eventually did the right thing because he was worn out by this woman's persistence that she kept coming and kept coming and kept asking and kept asking. So, with parables, sometimes people get a little carried away and try to find a parallel to every aspect of the parable. when they're really just trying to make a point, like my silliness with all of this gear. Is Jesus saying God's an unrighteous judge? Not at all. He's saying that even if an unrighteous judge will finally do the right thing, how much more will a loving Father, the God who loves us and wants the best for us, respond to our requests? Look what Jesus has to say over in Matthew chapter 7 in his Sermon on the Mount, beginning in verse 7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? God is a Father who wants to give good things to those who ask. We have to ask. We have to seek. We have to knock. The healthcare providers still need our prayers for their protection, for their stamina, for their strength and courage and wisdom. Those who are looking for a vaccine or ways to treat this disease still need our prayers for God's wisdom for them, insight and guidance. The officials, from mayors all the way to the presidents, leaders of countries, still need our prayers for wisdom to make the right decisions to keep people safe. We need to keep asking. We need to be persistent like this widow. We need to not lose heart, to not give up, to not lose hope. Romans chapter 12 and verse 12 says, be joyful in hope, be patient in affliction, be faithful in prayer. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 17 says, pray without ceasing. And I like some of the modern translations that just say simply, don't stop praying.